Are you ready to have the $1 million mindset? Yes? Yes?
Get ready for videos that inspire you to be the best version of yourself. Joyful, positive, effective, productive.
Hello, everyone! Who wants to make millions of dollars in the next... Yeah? Okay, make sure you come here because the first million is on me, all right? I'm going to tell you how to make this money. I love this. First million, yes, yes, yes. I'm going to tell you also what blocks you from getting there. And the first thing I want to ask is a question, okay? I want you to answer me the first answer that comes to your mind. The question will be right here. What is not wrong with your life? I bet you if you're like 99.9% of the population, this question caught you by surprise. Because the first thing you think is, what is wrong with our life? Our brains naturally go to that place of what is wrong. Why? Because that's how we were created at the beginning of times. We had to know about the poisonous leaf, the dangerous person. We were operated so many times from the sympathetic nervous system. In today's session, I'm going to move your brain waves, even without you knowing, to the different part of your brain. And when some things are hard, I call it being in a state of oi. Everybody say oi. Oi. Oi is when we feel negative emotions, negative feelings, negative thoughts, right? Thoughts goes into our emotions or our feelings, and then it's in a loop. And sometimes when it's a long time in a loop, then it translates as a behavior. It translates as an action. When I talk about oi, I talk about stress, overwhelm, anxiety, imposter syndrome, self-worthiness that is low. I talk about guilt and blame and shame and anger. Raise your hand if you experienced any of these negative emotions. We all have. You are all human. So now the question is, how do we move from that oi? And when you feel that place where you can really vibe with somebody in a positive way, I call it being in a state of joy. Joy is the opposite of oi. I'm known as the oi to joy champion catalyst. First of all, let's all shout together joy, right? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Joy! Yes! And when you are in a state of joy, the one thing about being in that joy, where I'm going to take you throughout today, is a place where you have to be in the present. You can't say, oh, I'm going to be joyful when something happened, right? Joy is being right here, is feeling connected. Joy is when you feel a sense of optimism. Joy is when you say yes to that mindset. You make a choice every day where you want to lead your life. Do you want to have more products? Do you want to have a better team building relationships? Do you want to get yourself more educated? Do you want to have less angry, less blame? Think of one thing that you want to do. Because if we think about everything, nothing can happen. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Every day, you or someone on your team actually sabotages that. Every day. Now, how do I know that? Because every day, somebody will have a negative emotions. And by negative emotions, I mean the stress, the blame, the anger, the doubt, the imposter syndrome, the insecurities. Every single day, somebody or you on your team will exhibit that. So when I talk about the saboteurs, and I'll use the word saboteurs, I mean negative emotions. And when I talk, a lot of people, first thing that comes to their mind is, Doris, aren't negative emotions sometimes good for us? Don't we need them to grow and survive and accomplish things? So if you ask this question, which is totally valid, I want to ask you back a question. Is pain good for you? Raise your hand if you think pain is good for you. Yeah, I agree with you. Pain is good for you. Imagine you didn't feel pain. Your hand will be burnt to the bone. So of course you feel pain. The million-dollar question is, how long? We all are entitled to bad days, right? But if you continue that, day in and day out, and day in and day out, then it becomes your personality. And so the question is, who do you want to become? But here is the truth. All of your saboteurs come from a place, originated in a place of strength. Your strengths are being used and abused until they become saboteurs. Positive intelligence is not a woo-woo out there. No, it deals with 4 different sciences: positive psychology, cognitive psychology, neuroscience, and performance science. I distilled everything that we know into 3 core muscles. Number 1, what are the saboteurs and how we intercept them? Number 2, we're going to learn what is the sage. How do we access them? And number 3, we're going to learn about self-command. What is the price that I'm paying staying in the saboteur land? And is this worth it? You are an amazing human being. You are what I call, and that's what my book is, the champion in your own life. I want you to stand up. Yes, stand up. Yes. Shake your body, move your body. Yeah, exactly. And I want you to reflect in all honesty on this. What is the impact? Still stand up. What is the impact of your saboteur on your productivity, on your relationships, and on your wellness?